Currently, NASCAR is shaking with major changes that could shape its future. Industry insiders are talking about everything from legendary drivers making their debuts to new rules shaking up how teams operate. And in today's episode, we will break down the new 3-charter limit rule per team, its impact on the competition, and what it means for the future of NASCAR. One of the most talked about events is the upcoming Daytona 500, set to feature a legendary IndyCar driver making his NASCAR debut. Let's dive into the details of this incredible news, the implications it carries, and other notable updates in the racing world. Helio Castroneves, a 4-time Indy 500 champion, is reportedly attempting to qualify for the 2025 Daytona 500. Known for his charisma and exceptional driving skills, Castroneves is preparing to take on the high banks of Daytona in the prestigious race. He will join Trackhouse Racing's Project 91, a program designed to bring international racing stars to NASCAR. Project 91 first made headlines in 2023 when Shane Van Gisbergen won at Chicago in its number 91 car. But the car did not compete in 2024, making Castroneves' entry a much-anticipated return for the program. This open-entry car is not guaranteed a spot in the race, meaning Castroneves will need to qualify either through speed or the duels. If successful, he will compete against the best drivers in one of the most challenging races in motorsports. Castroneves brings a wealth of experience and energy to this venture. As one of only 4 drivers to win the Indy 500 4 times, he's already cemented his place in racing history. Joining the Daytona 500 gives him a chance to achieve a rare feat, winning both the Indy 500 and the Daytona 500. Only 2 drivers, A.J. Foyt and Mario Andretti, have managed this remarkable accomplishment. If Castroneves succeeds, he'll join an elite group and further solidify his legacy. The Daytona 500 entry list for 2025 is shaping up to be one of the largest and most competitive in recent years. Reports suggest there could be up to 46 entries, including 36 chartered teams and 10 open entries. This would mark the largest field in nearly a decade, adding extra excitement to the qualifying duels. Confirmed open entries include J.J. Yaley with NY Racing, B.J. McLeod with Live Fast Motorsports, Mike Wallace with NBM Motorsports, and now Castroneves with Project 91. Unconfirmed entries add even more intrigue. Legacy Motor Club, led by NASCAR legend Jimmy Johnson, is expected to field a car. There's also speculation that Martin Truex Jr., with support from Joe Gibbs Racing, might participate, potentially through a collaboration with Tricon Garage. If all these entries materialize, fans are in for an unforgettable show during Speed Weeks. This year's Daytona 500 isn't just about the drivers, it's also about the evolving landscape of NASCAR. The 2025 season introduces a new charter agreement, which plays a crucial role in the structure and economics of the sport. While many details remain under wraps, this agreement sets the stage for the next chapter in NASCAR's journey. Charters ensure stable participation for teams, but the growing number of open entries shows there's still room for ambitious drivers and teams to make their mark. Castroneves' attempt at the Daytona 500 is a testament to NASCAR's ability to attract talent from across the racing spectrum. It's not just about adding star power, but also about showcasing the versatility and skill required to compete in this unique series. For us, it's a chance to witness history in the making. Whether or not Castroneves qualifies, his presence brings extra excitement to an already iconic event. And the excitement doesn't stop at the Daytona 500. The offseason has already delivered thrilling action, such as the showdown between Kyle Larson and Christopher Bell at the Tulsa Shootout. Bell edged out Larson by half a car length after 55 laps of intense racing, proving why these two are among NASCAR's brightest stars. Joe Gibbs Racing recently lifted its ban on extracurricular activities, enabling Bell and others to compete in events like the Tulsa Shootout. This decision benefits not only drivers, but also NASCAR as a whole by expanding its reach and credibility. As the 2025 season approaches, the combination of legendary drivers, rising stars, and new opportunities is setting the stage for a memorable year in motorsports. The Daytona 500, often referred to as the Great American Race, is the perfect platform to kick things off. Fans will be watching closely as Castroneves attempts to qualify, knowing the significance of his potential achievement. At the same time, they'll be cheering on their favorite drivers and teams, eager to see who will claim victory in this prestigious event. Helio Castroneves' journey to the Daytona 500 is more than just a race story. It's a celebration of passion, perseverance, and the universal appeal of motorsports. Whether you're a die-hard fan or a casual observer, this year's Daytona 500 promises to deliver drama, excitement, and unforgettable moments. From the roar of the engines to the thrill of the final lap, the race embodies everything that makes NASCAR a beloved sport. According to Bob Pockras, Cup Series teams are now limited to 3 chartered entries per organization, except for 2 major teams, Hendrick Motorsports and Joe Gibbs Racing. These 2 can still field 4 chartered cars under the new rules. For other teams, if they want to field a 4th car, it has to be an open entry. This change seems to give a small but real competitive advantage to Hendrick and Gibbs. Having a 4th car means more data can be gathered during races, which could give these teams an edge. But most Cup Series organizations appear to believe that 3 cars is the right balance. Trackhouse Racing's owner Justin Marks once said that 3 teams provide a strong and manageable number. He explained that having 3 cars increases opportunities on the track without overwhelming resources. Many other teams like Penske and RFK Racing also stick to 3 chartered cars. Still, the ability to field a 4th car is reserved for larger organizations with more resources, which might not seem fair to smaller teams trying to compete. This isn't the first time NASCAR has put limits on team sizes. In 2005, NASCAR introduced a rule capping teams at 4 cars. Back then, Roush Racing had 5 cars and was dominating the sport. Instead of forcing an immediate change, NASCAR allowed Roush to honor existing contracts before downsizing. This phased approach gave the team time to adapt and ensured smoother transitions for drivers and sponsors. By 2010, Roush was operating with 4 cars in compliance with the rules. The question now is whether Gibbs and Hendrick will eventually have to do the same, or if they will keep their 4th car indefinitely. NASCAR has not clarified if there is a long-term plan for this situation. The reasons behind the new rule are unclear. Back in 2005, then CEO Brian France said limiting team sizes was about making the sport more accessible for new owners and independent teams. He believed that smaller teams would increase opportunities for young drivers and new leaders in the sport. The real barriers to entry now in NASCAR is the cost of charters, which can run up to $50 million. This financial hurdle makes it difficult for new teams to enter the sport, regardless of how many cars larger teams are allowed to have in the field. Now, before you leave, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, and ring that notification bell for more upcoming updates.